Welcome back. Automakers caught in the crosshairs of the trade war, and that is putting big pressure on a company like Toyota. Phil LeBeau is live at the company's U.S. headquarters with more. Hello, Phil.
Thank you, Mike. Mark Templin, the Chief Operating Officer for Toyota North America. Big week for you here at Toyota.
Oh, absolutely.
Introducing the new RAV4, your best-selling vehicle, almost 500,000 you sold last year. But you also build it in Canada and Japan, and a lot of those are the ones you sell here in the U.S. How are tariffs impacting what you're doing with the RAV4?
Well, let me break that down in two pieces. You ask about the RAV4. We are excited about it, launching that this week. We're going to launch actually 7 vehicles this week with many journalists, analysts, and investors that are going to be here. And we're going to show them 7 vehicles, including the new RAV4. And we're excited about the RAV4 because of the things you just described. And that is, it's the best-selling compact SUV in the marketplace, has been for 8 years. In fact, last year, the RAV4 was the number one selling vehicle in the entire marketplace of any kind of car. And it's at the end of its life cycle, so we're excited to create a new one. But let me tell you what the designers and the engineers had to do. They had to say, okay, what's the benchmark in the industry? Well, it's not someone else's product, it's the current RAV4. So they're trying to make the current RAV4 even better.
But you build over 60% of the ones you sell here in the U.S. in Canada. You have more that come from Japan.
Yep.
How are you handling the impact of tariffs?
Yeah. Well, very carefully. Right now, we're kind of in a wait-and-see arena. But I will tell you, in terms of the RAV4, I want everyone to know that we have invested in the United States for 68 years now. For nearly 7 decades, we've been investing in America. We've invested $50 billion here to sell cars. We have 14 plants across North America. 11 of those are right here in the U.S. More of the RAV4s will be built in Kentucky with this next generation, but we will continue to build it in Kentucky, Ontario, Canada, with some coming from Japan to meet demand in the marketplace.
But pricing is still an issue, especially with inventories at the level. Look, you have 10 days inventory out there.
Yeah.
You clearly are getting hit with tariffs. How are you passing along those costs? Or are you just eating it?
No, we're absolutely in a different place than the rest of the industry. For the last 60 days, the industry's had a lot of cars on the ground, and so they've been able to sell cars that aren't getting those tariffs. In our case, because our dealers are selling through our inventory as fast as we can build it. This year, we'll build 200,000 more cars than we did last year, and the dealers are still going to sell right through it. They end every month with 10-day supply of cars, and they're asking for more. So we're not worried about that piece of it. We are a little bit concerned about what the future holds, because the administration, they understand how complicated our industry is, how capital intensive it is, how long the product development cycles are, how long the product life cycles have to be to amortize the cost for that. They get those things. They also understand how complicated the supply chain is and how fragile the supply chain is for our parts makers.
But the industry prices, be honest with me,
yes,
they will start going up at some point. Is
absolutely.
it in June? When do we see industry prices, not just for Toyota, but everybody, start to go up?
You're absolutely correct. 25% tariffs are unsustainable. Everybody's going to have, nobody has profit margins like that, so everyone will have to eventually. My guess is as soon as the other automakers run through their inventory and they get down to the level we are, there's going to be some people that start taking those. And then once a few automakers do that, everyone else will have to follow.
So when do we see prices go up?
Well, you've already seen some of them go up. You've already seen.
But widespread, would you say June?
Absolutely. I think when you get to June or the end of June at least, you're going to see people they're going to feel the pressure and they're going to have to do it.